Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be doing my Port Adelaide vs Western Bulldogs game review and how Port Adelaide came back in the last quarter to steal it late against the Western Bulldogs, and how Bont almost didn't get a ton from having another 60-point first half. So before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the recap. So Butters top scored for Port with a 110. Huge last quarter, basically igniting them to that victory, and scored the huge goal late. I don't know whether it was the go-ahead goal or basically the sealer, as it was either they went up by 4 points or they went up by like 10 points with that goal. So yeah, pretty influential goal there. And yeah, he's not looked the best pick, because obviously you have Rosie right behind him at 110 and averaging 17 more before him in the first 4 games. But I think he could kick up some form here, and one to look out for, especially at 700k. And he could have a good role. So Rosie had a huge second half, 68 points. He got trapped on the bench here, as you can see here. Trapped on the bench, I think, to finish the first. I think he had 56% time on ground in the first quarter. And I think at one point in the second, he was at 60%. And it was the worst out of anyone playing. Like, other than the 2 subs, it was the worst time on ground for any player. Houston here got to a 106. I just don't like how volatile he is, and how his lows are low and how his highs aren't that high. Dixon at 82, he's actually done all right, but how many goals? He had to go in the ruck, didn't he? So he had some ruck points. And yeah, he actually didn't kick a goal, it doesn't look like, and still got to this score. So that's really weird for him. I'm going to have to look into why that is the case. Ollie Wines, again, another bad game for him. Boak, again, he's tanking in price. So those two will really tank in price. Burton, again, will tank in price. Horne-Francis, again, just a mid-pricer doing mid-price things. Marshall, Burne-Jones, McEntee, Dersma, Aliir. Scotty Lysette got subbed out on, was it 23? Yeah, 23. That's really bad for anyone who possibly owned him, as that pretty much killed his not even his cash gen. He's just going to go backwards at this point. Willie Rioli, Palpepper, Mead, Williams, Drew. There's not really anyone here. They don't really have any youngsters here that do anything. Like, I guess you have Williams here, who's beat his break even by 38, but there isn't really anything to talk about with Port, because you only really have anyone that I'm interested in is Rosie, and Wines is averaging way too low. Boak averaging way too low. There's no one else here that's anywhere close to averaging a decent number, and Powell Pepper was beforehand, but not anymore. And then Western Bulldogs side, you have Tim English here, huge first half of 76, and then sort of tapered off in the second half, but he'd done his role, and he's going to go up to probably 990k. And yeah, it's going to be tight with Joe Hannison, to get Joe Hannison and him in, given Joe Hannison's probably going to go up 50k or so. So 50k for him. So I think I just have it, but it will be tight. Treloar, 105, huge score from him. Bontempelli, as I said, huge first half of 61, then a 30-point third quarter, and then he started away really good to get to 98, and then forgot to score for basically a whole quarter, especially when they were up by 8 and they needed someone to lift, and he just fell silent. So then you have Joe Hannison here. Good game. Fell silent in the last quarter, but I mean, when you get a 98 out of a guy that I'm having at D6, F6 basically the whole time now, is going to be pretty good, because that's almost what people would have for a rookie score, and I get now him or Jinbi at those D6s type role, or F6. Those two are going to be that role for me. Bont, Johannesson, McRae, again, good start, but really fell off in the second half of 23. Waitman, first game of the year, is it? Yeah, 82. So yeah, he did all right. Then you have Ed Richards, good first quarter, but outside of that, did nothing. Libba, good thing I didn't go for him as he had a pretty pathetic game. Daniel, O'Brien, Jones, Norton, Dale. These are good thing I didn't go for Dale as well. He had a really pathetic game as well. And he'll leak cash very quickly now with a 46. And then even Oscar Baker as well. He had a really bad game as well. So no one had a good game for Western Bulldogs, it looks like, aside from basically these top four. Yeah, so Drea, Jones, Hannon, no one else here really. McLean came on in the last but didn't do anything. So this is a really short review because there isn't really much to look at. I mean, Ed Richards got to his break even, but we're going to see a crash in Caleb Daniel as well. I'm going to actually use this time to go over to here and see what the CBAs was like in this game. We have Western Bulldogs 2023. So Tim English obviously 91, Libba 82, Bontempelli 77, Treloar up to 86, taking Bazza Smith's time away. That's probably Bazza Smith should be back next week, and then Caleb Daniel got 0, Lob 9. So that was English had a little bit more in the ruck. He's averaging 88 at the moment. And then, nothing for Darcy Hagen. So, this is looking pretty standard as well. So it's really surprising to see low scores out of guys. If we look at the AFL and we look, not there. If we look at, where is it? There isn't really anything else to, I guess, look at. If we look here at this game here, I'm just going to see if they have it here. I'm just going to look to see. I just want to look to see Jason Johansson. Okay, that's a wing and halfback role. That's pretty good. That's the role that I wanted out of him. English obviously is going to be in the center. That's good. Bont is going to have center and a little bit on the wing. Okay, that's sort of surprising. And then what role did Oscar Baker get? He'd be on the wings, wasn't it? And sort of halfback. So what I'm seeing here is that Western Bulldogs just fell off in the last quarter really and gave the game to Port, I guess, in the end. And that's why you see, I just want to see Rosie's role. That's a pretty good role. It looks like a little bit defensive 50, but I guess that was just hacking the ball out when it got stuck in there. So that's all right. And that was just a huge, and we also have Super Coach scores on this one as well. So that's, I might use this one in the future now, but the other one doesn't have this quarter by quarter, so they're sort of both all right ways to look at it. So I might flick in between them for reviews in the future. So that's basically it. If I switch to my this screen, that's my review of the Port versus Western Bulldogs game, and I'll see you guys in another review tomorrow. Thanks guys, goodbye.